Is your healing? Is your healing? Your healing? Is your healing? Is your healing? Your healing?
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel and welcome back if you're returning. Today I am coming to you with a new healing vlog and we're doing a book review. This is my first book review. I have notes, so bear with me. But I read this week, well, disclaimer, because one day I'm going to have a bookshelf that is going to be a reflection of all the knowledge I have. But as of right now, I'm doing Audible. My time is jam-packed. I would love to be able to carve out some time to read, but it ain't happening for your girl. Not with a 2-year-old, not with a 19-year-old, not with a 15-year-old, not with a full-time job, YouTube, and a business. It's not happening, okay? So I do Audible. I do it on my way to work, sometimes at work when it's a little downtime, and I do it on my way home, right? So today I'm coming to you with a book called Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. Pretty good. The premises of the book is basically a guy kind of giving a story in the beginning about, how his life just kind of crumbled underneath him and how he put self-love in the forefront of building himself back up, right? A lot of times you hear the girlies talking about, oh, self-love, and it's a lot of pampering, self-love day, going to get pedicures, going to get manicures, taking vacations. Sometimes it includes, health, body stuff, but not often enough do we talk about the mental aspect of how we feel about ourselves, right? So naturally, most people feel like I love myself. Even if you're disappointed with yourself, I don't think too many people walk through the world thinking that they hate their self or thinking that they lack in self-love, right? They're not intentional about it. Let's keep it a buck. We're not always intentional about it. So this book goes into 4 intentional practices to kind of help build that self-love. Now, what I got from practice number 1, I think I connected with that the most. It's the mental loop, right? The mental loop is basically 5 minutes a day repeating to yourself, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. You can say it verbally or you can just mentally say it. 5 minutes a day here and there. Maybe you'll do 5 in the morning, 5 at lunch, and 5 at dinner, either way. That is the premises of the mental loop. And when explaining the mental loop, one of the things that stood out to me was how he spoke about the importance of repetition and how a lot of times we think our brain is thinking, but what our brain is doing is remembering. And it took me back to a relationship I was in that involved some DV, right? More emotional and verbal than physical, but some physical. And I noticed that in the midst of that, this person used to say things to me and I felt like I didn't believe it, right? It was like, what? Like, you call me a POS, you say I ain't, all of this stuff. I'm a loser, I'm whatever. And in the midst of it, it's like you're looking at this other person who more than likely, because when it comes to men, tend to lash out when their stuff isn't together. I'm like, I'm the one holding all of this down. I work, you don't. I have ambitions and goals. You don't actively work on yours. Anyway, we're not gonna go down the list. But nonetheless, in the midst of it, I felt as though I didn't believe that, right? But this goes back into the mental aspect of the repetition of it. When you're constantly hearing it. It wasn't until I got out of that situation that I was like, wait a minute. Like, did hearing this constantly for years somehow trick my brain into believing this about myself? So, anyway, that was my connection to the practice of mental loop. which is why I like fully agree. And I think that that is going to be the practice for me that does the most, right? I hope you guys don't hear my washing machine, but I got to get clothes washed. So the second one is the mirror practice, in which he goes to a mirror and he's eye to eye with the mirror. He says, look yourself in the eye, and tell yourself you love yourself. Repeat it over and over. Smile at the end. Speak some affirmations. And he did explain, and this is one of the tougher ones, and that sometimes you got to only focus on one eye. Sometimes you can get a headache. He did explain this was one that was much more difficult. I think that this has the least amount of flexibility, because no one wants to be at work doing that. But like, I could be at work and just take a second, close my eyes, and repeat to myself, I love myself. I could be at a red light and repeat to myself, I love myself. But the mirror thing, I don't really want nobody walking in on me and I'm in the mirror at work like. So that is something that is that is of course a little less flexible than the mental loop. The other one is meditation. Of course, same premises. He says he said about 7 minutes he picks a song or two and he meditates. And again, while you're meditating, the premises again is this mantra of I love myself. I love myself. And then number 4, you guys. Number 4, I'm still really confused on. It's the question, right? I listened to this chapter a few times, and for whatever reason, it just was not doing for me. What I really got from this, and it doesn't feel like a practice, it feels like a check-in, is what of these things, or what of your self-love practice is working? What are you feeling? Like, you're gonna know after doing 2 or 3 mirror practices whether that you're resonating with that or not, right? Or you're gonna know after doing meditation if you're resonating with that, or whatever other practices. He offers these 4 practices, but the truth of the matter is, the book is more or less to encourage you to create your own. Here are a few practices you can try, but keep trying things until something sticks with you. He tried several things, but these were the 4 that stuck with him. Okay, now as far as my key takeaway, so here are my key takeaway, guys. Key takeaways was self-love is a choice. It's a choice, and it's something that has to be practiced intentionally. And when I say intentionally, it means create consistent practices within your day, within your week, that hones in on you, reminding yourself of how you feel about yourself. The truth of the matter is, we call people, we'll text a love interest every morning, good morning. We'll text a good night. But do we give ourselves that same love? Do you wake up, like we'll say, I'm going to do my affirmations, but the likelihood that you're going to do your affirmations as much as you will remember to text somebody that you're trying to court or trying to align with, we don't do it. Date yourself is also on the table. My other takeaway is small changes small steps lead to profound changes, right? So again, the mental loop is so small. It takes such a, like, you guys, I started doing it today. Well, not today. I started doing it this week, right? Not consistent enough. I think next week I'm going to make it my consistent week to actually do everything. But as I was reading the book, I would do it here and there. But the small changes of stopping at a red light and repeating the mantra to myself, or the mental loop, shall I say, in his terminology, was amazing. It was amazing. Like, I did feel like I would pull up to work in a better mood. A little bit better mood. But the meditation, I meditate, but I meditate on a variety of things. You know what I'm saying? It's never just like self-love. Again, small steps, profound changes. Mindset matters, right? it's the center of the book's message. Like, we have to be intentional about shifting the energy, shifting our perspective of self, shifting how we treat ourselves. So mindset matters. The power of mindset and self-talk is central to the book's message. Changing negative thought patterns to positive affirmations can foster lasting self-love. Again, repetition, repetition. We're not going to be thinking that we love ourselves. We're going to barely be remembering that we love ourselves. We're trying to get to a point where we know we love ourselves. Okay. Authenticity breeds connection. Loving oneself proves the way for authentic relationship with others. When we accept ourselves, we are better equipped to engage with the world authentically. Okay. So I'm going through this healing journey, and it's been a wave of emotions, right? I find myself at times like, girl, are you being too hard on other people because you're right now being hard on you? When I tell you, and going through the healing process and the self-awareness that happens, it's like up here, y'all. Sometimes to a detriment, I'm going to be honest. Sometimes I bring stuff up to my friends and they're like, girl, I wasn't tripping off of that. But it was bothering me. It was bothering me. So I had to address it. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it be, I have one girlfriend who's like always calling me, always texting. Now, mind you, her kids are grown, so she's not running around with little kids. But I still just noticed, like, we won't talk for days. But when we do, it's a result of her calling or texting me. And then I just feel like a shitty friend, you know. She's not tripping. She knows that I'm busy and I'm ripping and running, you know. But it was bothering me. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, how you love yourself is definitely a reflection of how you're going to engage with others. Cultivate inner resilience. Self-love acts as a buffer against life challenges. Big fact. It empowers individuals to navigate difficulties with great resilience and grace. This is true. Hands down, I do notice that when I'm feeling grounded with myself, that I don't tend to lash out, have meltdowns, or react extreme to any down trends in my life. I'm gonna say down trends because, you know, things happen. Life be life in y'all. And I notice that definitely when I'm feeling more empowered, more confident in myself, in my ability to push through it, then I'm able to shrug those things off a whole lot more. So yeah, those are my takeaways, guys. The book is pretty quick. Hands down, I would definitely suggest it. If you do it on Audible, it's like 3 hours. You can get through that in no time. Probably a day and a half, honestly. And yeah, implement the practices. Again, we're going to do the mirror. We're going to do the meditation. We're going to do the mental loop. I'll come back and let you guys know how it went for me. I definitely want to practice these things. And yeah, until next time, love yourself, protect your energy, and deal with life's bullshit with grace and gratitude.
Is your healing? Is your healing?